So how did Darby-O-Gill start? I mean, what was the genesis of that?
It was 125 years ago in a small wee cottage in Cork. Lived a man and a woman, and they got into a fight over Well, it just happened sort of through serendipity. I was back on my own again, playing music in the pubs around town, and musicians came and said, "Do you mind if I play with you?" I said, "No, Jez, it'd be grand." And they sat in, and the musicians that work with Darby-O-Gill are thrown, we like to call it, under the bus, because I have no idea what they're doing and could care less. So I get on top of the microphone with my guitar and I say, I'm gonna do this song, and it's a waltz or it's a march and it's in this key, and there you go, and I just start playing it. And so it's up to them to figure out what to do, and if they can hold up, then they stay with Darby-O-Gill. a lot of them just get so intimidated by the crowds and by some of the shenanigans that I pull on stage that they never come back. Fortunately now we've got enough brilliant musicians that can handle that kind of stuff. They can really hold their own on a stage in front of a bunch of drunks. I mean, a bunch of high-spirited people, members of the audience, and take it as it comes. We'll pull up, somebody will ask for a song that I haven't done for 20 years, and I'll start singing the song, and nobody else in the band has ever played it. I've never played it before. Now, before you know it, before the song's done, we're all playing it as if we were playing it all our lives. It's just because the musicians that I work with are that good to be able to pick up on the energy from themselves and me and from the audience. Everything just comes together. We were talking before about when I first started, I didn't have 20 songs to rub together, you know, so I could go off and do 30-minute shows, and it was a real struggle to get enough songs to fill up a playlist for an hour or 2 hours set for a regular paying job at a place. It wasn't until Darby-O-Gill formed that we got enough songs that we could do 4 or 5 hours in a night, and then we just kept building on top of that and building on top of that. Everybody would have a song they've heard that they liked that we'd work up, or we'd write a song, or somebody would suggest a song, we go learn it. And before you know it, we've got 300 songs in our repertoire. Now you got 300 songs in your repertoire, and instead of saying we've got just barely enough songs to get through the night, now you can change your playlist according to what kind of an audience do you have. So if you've got 100 people in your audience, they're all from Dublin, Ireland, they don't want to hear the old traditional Irish songs, you've got enough to give it to them all night long. And if they're all 24-year-old college kids and they want to hear Freebird, well, you don't give them Freebird, but you can give them enough stuff that they'll be well satisfied all night long. Most bands, I think, when they start out, have trouble with how are they going to fill up their time. And then after that, they have a trouble with how are they going to appease the audience. Or at least that's what they better be thinking if they want to work with audiences. And we do. So now we're at the point where we don't need to wear any kind of an audience. We played in front of a country western audience, and we had enough to please them. They loved it. There's not really much I fear. There's nothing no audience I fear playing in front of now, because we've got such a variety of styles and songs that we do. Except maybe them Martians that I saw last night. So they have no ears. They have no ears. They wouldn't appreciate it. We'd just be sitting there like this.
Play something you know.
Get your own band.
Get back in your cage.
guitar so well, hands light to the punch, and I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. When you ride into the night without a trace behind, rub your claw along my guts one last time. I turn to face an empty space where once you used to lie, and look for the spark to light the night through the teardrop in my eye. Oh, ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Ride on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. And I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Right on. Very much. Is that all right? Sound good?
What?
Out there? Sound okay out there in the mix?
Oh, you're talking to me?
Give me just a tad more here in my monitor.
No?
Me too.
You want more of him in your monitor? Or?
Yeah, he'll do it for you because you pay him. These guys are both wearing sunglasses because they don't want to be recognized afterward.
You know, if we can get, hey Scott, if we can get Michael and Rex to have sunglasses, I can just say, hey, who's that up there with Scott?
That's a joke. It takes entirely too long to tell. You guys are wearing a bald
But when I was first coming over to America from Ireland, my parents were really worried about me. And my father thought that I wouldn't be able to find work over here either. He asked me one day, he says, what do you want to be if you grow up?
If?
You got to know my dad. I said, I want to grow up and be a musician. He said, son, you can't have it both ways. The difference between an Irish musician and a municipal bond is that eventually the bond will mature and make money. So if you ever need to know how to get an Irish musician off your porch, you just pay him for the pizza.
Rule number 1, don't encourage this man. It was free to get in, but it's going to cost you to get out. It's starting at 10:50 tonight.
I told my father I'm going to go over to America with my guitar and I'm going to try to make money making music. And after he got finished laughing, he said to me, well, whatever you do, don't forget your shovel. And it was pretty good advice, too. Well, don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work.
shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you come from like the rest of us. I'm digging, I'm digging. Yo-de-do-de-do. And don't forget your shoes, your socks, shirt, and tie and all. And don't forget your shoes, your socks, shoes, tie and all. And don't forget your shoes, your socks, shirt, tie and all. Mr. Murphy's afraid to make a claim if you take a fall. Yo-de-do-de-do. So don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. And don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. But don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you come from like the rest of us. Digging, digging. Yo-lo-lo. Here's one for you now, boys. Hey, Nicole gets a job digging away to on a skull. Hey, Nicole gets a job digging away to on a skull. Hey, Nicole gets a job digging away to on a skull. And when you finish there, here he will have an owl. So don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. And don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. But don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you come from like the rest of us. We're digging, we're digging. Yo-lo-lo. How about a bit of a break, boys?
Take a break when you got this job. How's it going, Rex? Any chance of a start? Sounds like the break's about over now, doesn't it? Yo-lo-lo. And if you're going to do that, don't you do it over the wall. And if you have to do it, don't you do it over the wall. If you're gonna do that, don't do it over the wall. There's never been a toilet on a building site at all. Mind your sandwiches! Yo-lo-lo. We all want to get to heaven, but we're always digging holes. We all want to get to heaven, but we're always digging holes. We all want to get to heaven, but we're always digging holes. Well, there's one thing you can say, we know where we are going. We're digging, we're digging. Now there's 3,249 paddies living down there in Old London Town Hall. Every one of them are trying to dig their way back home again to Anniscall, and very few of them lads is ever going to make it back home at all or at all. And I think that's terrible. So don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. And don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. No, don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work. Or you'll end up where you come from like the rest of us. We're digging, we're digging, we're digging. Yo-lo-lo.
No. Spanish. Yeah. This is sort of a strange song. I don't hear it a lot in America. Sometimes you hear it, but it's one of my favorites. Sounds like a love song, but really it's a song about growing old. You know, I shouldn't say that though, because we don't do any love. This is a love song. What key is this in?
Q.
Q. Okay.
It's a Canadian.
Like that?
That's not how you're supposed to play that. It's an E.
Four?
There you go, 4 and C.
Sounds even more like an E.
Give me no, don't tell a joke.
My wife isn't. Whenever Art goes down like that, it's time for me to tell a joke.
It's never time for you to tell a joke.
My wife and I just celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary last week. 20 years.
12 years of happy marriage.
Celebrating a whole decade of happy marriage.
to Dublin City at the hour of 8:30. Who should I spy but the Spanish lady, washing her feet beneath the pale moonlight? First she washed them, then she dried them, or a fire of ambery coals. In all my life I ne'er did meet a maid so neat about the soul. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Then as I came down to Dublin City at the hour of 8:30, who should I spy but the Spanish lady, washing her hair neath the broad daylight? First she washed it, then she tossed it, on her lap was a silvery comb. In all my life I ne'er did meet a maid so sweet since I did roam. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Then as I came back to Dublin City as the sun began to set, who should I spy but the Spanish lady, catching them off in a golden net? First she spied me, then she passed me, lifted her petticoats over her knee. In all my life I ne'er did meet a maid so shy as a Spanish lady. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Patrick's clothes, up and around by the Gloucester Diamonds, and back by Abertany's house. Old age has laid its hands upon me, icy cold as they could be. But where was a lovely Spanish lady, and neat and sweet and curling bee? Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a. Whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a-dee, whack for the two-ry-oo-ry-a.
Hey, Scott, you got anything slow and sad like that?
Yeah.
Hey, Jane. How come you know these songs? Are these real songs?
I mean, this is what's really scary. I know so many of them.
Are these real songs?
Now, granted, there's some liberty taken with some of the lyrics.
There
but
has to be. This is folk music.
Hey, watch your language. It's a good family place.
Where did you get him from? We'll do a love song. It's about beer. It's about beer. Oh, good. Art's away. So anyway, my wife and I, my wife of 20 years and I was just thinking back over all our 20 years together, and I realized, I knew from day one I had married Mrs. Wright. But I didn't know at that time that her first name was always
1250.
Honeydew. Last name, what I say. Always undo what I say.
20 years married, and she caught me crying. And she said, "Darling, what's wrong? You should be delighted. Today's our 20th wedding anniversary." And I said, "Well, I was just thinking, when I married you, your father told me if I didn't marry you, he'd have me in prison for 20 years. I'd be a free man today." Of course, I kid you about my wife. It's a very happy marriage. We have a very good relationship. I do the cooking. She can't cook at all. She could burn water, man. And she doesn't cook. She doesn't approach the stove. She said to me yesterday, she says, "Let's try someplace new for dinner." I said, "Okay, how about the kitchen?"
Well,
Always put her presents in the last place you'd ever look for it, right in the oven.
Hey, Scott, didn't she ask to eat out the other night?
What's that?
Didn't she ask to eat out the other night?
She did, yeah, so I put her dish on the back porch. That's terrible. That's not true, that one. You're gonna get me in trouble, man.
That's my job.
One day, though, she says, "You're looking a little peaked. Is there something I could get you?" I said, "Yeah, it's simple." I said, "Ice water." She brought me back an onion. I said, "What's that for?" She said, "Cut that up. That'll make your eyes water."
$14.95.
Well, she said it. I did catch her crying. I caught her crying. She was sitting on the bed in the bedroom, crying her eyes out. And I said, "Darling, what's wrong?" And she says, "I'm just really homesick." And I said, "Wait a minute, you are home." She said, "Sure, and I'm sick of it." Okay, here's our love song. This is a love song that was written by the entire Irish nation.
Wait.
To their very dear friends in the British Army.
You can get shot for that.
I don't necessarily mean anything, I just talk. When I was young, I had a twist for punching babies with me fist. And so I thought I should enlist and join the British Army. Looking for monkeys up in the zoo. If I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Corporal Daly went away and he left us sweet. The family were the only thing that she could say was "Stand the British Army." They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. If I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. When I was young, I used to be as fine a lad as ever you'd see in the Prince of Wales. He said to me, "Come join the British Army." They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. Says I, if I had big ears like you, I'd join the British Army. Maggie Thatcher had the drought, so we filled her up with a Guinness stout. She fed the enemy with her mouth and saved the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. And if I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Jilted soldiers wear no chores. Won't you kindly let him yours? The poor should always help the poor. God help the British Army. They're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. If I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Now make you keep your hands all clean. I'll make you sing God Save the Queen. You'd be a walking death machine if you join the British Army. Oh, they're looking for monkeys up in the zoo. If I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. So if you're young and in your prime and fond of every kind of crime, I promise you a jolly good time inside the British Army. Oh, up in the zoo. If I had a face like you, I'd join the British Army. Oh, I made me mind of what to do. I'll work me ticket home to you and I'll leave the British Army. Some say the devil is dead, the devil is dead, the devil is dead. Some say the devil is dead, buried in Killarney. More say he rose again, more say he rose again, more say he rose again. Join the British Army. Feed the pigs and milk the cow and milk the cow and milk the cow. Feed the pigs and milk the cow early in the morning. Hike your leg up, Paddy dear, I'm over here. Hike your leg up, Paddy dear, I can stop your yawning. Some say the devil is dead, the devil is dead, the devil is dead. Some say the devil is dead, buried in Killarney. More say he rose again, more say he rose again. She's tall and thin, tall and thin. Katie is tall and thin. She likes the taste of brandy. She drinks it in the bed at night. She drinks it in the bed each night. She drinks it in
bed at night, it makes her gay and dandy. Carl's only 5 foot tall, shoes and all, 5 foot tall. Carl's only 5 foot tall, he likes his sugar candy. He goes to bed at 5 o'clock, he's in the bed at 5 o'clock. Goes to bed at 5 o'clock, he's lazy, fat and bandy. Some say the devil is dead, the devil is dead, the devil is dead. Some say the devil is dead, buried in Killarney. Or say he rose again, or say he rose again, or say he rose again and joined the British Army. My favorite verse. My wife, she has a hairy thing, a hairy thing, a hairy thing. My wife, she has a hairy thing, she showed it to me Sunday. She got it from a furrier shop, she bought it in the furrier shop, she got it in the furrier shop. It's going back on Monday. Some say the devil is dead, the devil is dead, the devil is dead. Some say the devil is dead, buried in Killarney. Or say he rose again, or say he rose again, or say he rose again and joined the British Army. Some say the devil arose, dressed himself in British clothes, struck up a British pose and joined the British Army. Devil is dead.
Let's do something soft, slow.
Do something Irish.
Somebody cut that guy off. Where'd he go?
He's hiding now. Thanks. He's wearing sunglasses.
This is Ken Clulo, our sound engineer, working with us from Cyrus Morte Nonculpa. What is it?
Just Cyrus Morte.
Cyrus Morte Sound.
Dead
Cyrus
squirrel.
Morte Dead Squirrel.
Dead squirrels.
It didn't register very much for you get it home.
Well, as most of you know already, Darby-O-Gill strictly avoids any songs that have anything to do with squirrels.
Yeah, right.
There aren't any squirrels in any of our songs, any place, ever.
Why?
Why? Well, there are a lot of reasons for it. One of them is, we play every year on the 1st of August, which is tomorrow. Every year, have done so for years and years, and hope to continue. We play at a place in Banks. This guy owns like 7 million acres of filbert orchards.
Okay.
And it's a really good paying gig, And if we were to sing about squirrels where nice things happen to squirrels, I doubt very much he'd hire us again. And then if we sing about bad things happening to squirrels, well, then the animal rights activists get all over us. So you just can't win with
We
squirrels.
just stay away from it entirely. We could sing about ferrets,
Yeah.
and then like by default.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
As long as we don't mention squirrels directly.
I don't know. We're talking about squirrels. Like, don't ask me. I'm just a man. Headed arrows.
My wife should have been here. She would have been here by now. We left the house together. But policeman pulled me over and said, "Sir, did you know that your wife fell out of the car about 5 miles back?" I said, "No, I just assumed I'd gone deaf."
1795.
Well, you do know, she does have quite a bit to complain about, I mean, really.
She's foul enough to complain. On the way, we were leaving the house and she was complaining already over every little thing. I mean, I don't want to cast aspersions, but my goodness, it's too cold. It's too hot. The wind's too strong. My hair's getting messed up. There's bugs in my teeth. The ropes are too tight. You name it. Here's a song about the age-old mass immigration from Ireland, referred to today as the Flight of Earls. There's just no work to do over there. Well, it's getting better now, because the computer industries are coming in. But still, you have a very highly educated population and just no work for them to do. Over in America and Canada, a bunch of jobs, man, but in Ireland, they're pretty few and far between.
this lonely waiting room, and the paper boys are singing in the rain. Just before they come to take us to the airport, and the noise to get on board a transatlantic plane. We have nothing left to stay for, we have no more left to say, and there isn't any work for us to do. So farewell, me boys and girls, another bloody flight of pearls. Our best assets is our best export too. Oh, it's not murder, fear, nor famine that makes us leave this time. We're not going to join McAlpine's Fusiliers. We have brains and we have vision, we have education too, but we just can't throw away these precious years. And so we walk the streets of London and the streets of Baltimore, and we meet at night in several Boston bars. We're the leaders of our future, but we're far away from home, and we dream of you beneath the Irish stars. Take a look at Ellis Island and a lady in the bay, as Manhattan turns to face another Sunday. We all wonder what you're doing to bring us all back home, as we look forward to another Monday. We know things will get better once again. So 1,000 times adieu. We have Bono and you too. All we're missing is the Guinness and the rain. Your new computers for the writings on the wall. We are leaving as our fathers left before. Take a look at Dublin Airport, or the boat that leaves North Wall. There'll be no youth unemployment anymore. Oh,
Situation.
Situation.
Speaking of which,
Give me a little more guitar.
Situation with Caitlin.
two.
Any more bass?
Okay.
Sure, anything you say.
Hey Rex, if you really want, I can put the bass drum into the monitor, especially for you.
He's still got his hand out. If you're interested, if you like what you hear today, we do have a CD out. If you haven't got your copy yet, it's called Waiting for a Ride, which in America just means trying to get it from one place to another. In Ireland, it means something entirely different, which is probably why we don't sell a lot of them in Ireland. I had to keep that secret for about a year. Otherwise, half of the band members wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right. There's a song about a man who comes over to America from Ireland trying to find work. He's looking for a decent situation.
I am an Irishman by birth. I'm coming to your nation to discover what I'm worth. That's some other occupation. I used to be a clerk before my immigration, and I sure could use some work, and I want the situation. I have some experience and a well-known reputation in Ireland's defense against the British exploitation. And I'm willing to be trained, and I don't mind relocation. And in case I'm not explained, I want the situation. Oh Lord, what do you know? Another mother's son is on the stove. Oh Lord, what do you know? Another mother's son has lost his soul. Well, I have been in deportation. I face discrimination. I've been under lock and key and poverty and near starvation. And if I might just add, as I make this application, that I want so very bad to get a decent situation. If you'll excuse my being bold, but I've got some confirmation that American streets are paved with gold. Now that's some decoration. I'm no sort of slob, with no sophistication. And I really did a job, and I want the situation. Oh Lord, what do you know? Another mother's son is on the door. Oh Lord, what do you know? Another mother's son has lost his soul. Oh no, I am an Irishman by birth, and I'm coming to your nation to discover what I'm worth. That's some other occupation. And I want a situation. And I need a situation.
So what was that about?
Back in your cage, Kip.
Let's do Andy and Stewart song. Yeah, I like that. My favorite tempo. We've got like 1,000 that go like this.
That's all right. I can do this for a while. I like reading a bad book. And then
plenty, and drunkers barely 20, and many's your man at 90, that's never yet kissed a girl, but to be a rambling rover, they hurt me down to Dover, and we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Oh, there's many that made enjoyment from merciless employment, their ambition was risky employment, from the minute they left the school, and they save and scrape and ponder, while the rest go out and squander, see the world and roam and wander, and they're happier as a rule. There's over and plenty, but drunkers barely 20. Many's your man at 90, that's never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, they hurt me down to Dover, and we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Now I've been to all the nations, and delighted all creations. I've enjoyed the wee sensation when the company did prove kind, and when pardon was no pleasure. I've drunk another measure to the good friends that we treasure, for they always are on our minds. And there's over men at plenty, but drunkers barely 20. Many's your man at 90, that's never yet kissed a girl. Give me a rambling rover, they hurt me down to Dover, we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. With arthritis, and your bowels have got colitis, and you've got a bit bronchitis, and you think this time you died, you'll be in the man of action, while you're lying there in interaction, you'll give some satisfaction, thinking, geez, at least I tried. And there's sober men in plenty, and drunkers barely 20, men way over 90, lads have never yet kissed a girl. Give me a rambling rover, they hurt me down to Dover, and we'll roam the country over, together we'll face the world. And there's sober men in plenty, and drunkers barely 20, and many's your man at 90, lads have never yet kissed a girl. Give me a rambling rover, they hurt me down to Dover, and we'll roam the country over, and together we'll face the world.
Let's stand over here doing a Macarena.
No, he's doing YMCA. Yeah, but Scott, you do have to admit that Austin did prove that the Macarena can be done to any song.
Especially them reels, man. Every time we did a reel, he'd do the Macarena. What was really irritating is before the night was over, half the people in the house were doing the Macarena. Somebody asked me one time, have you ever played the Macarena? I said, well, yeah, but not by intention at all. Let's do a modern song.
Modern song.
Oh, rock on, no.
Oh, yeah.
Wrong kind of We'll do a song from a band from Galway, Ireland. They just came over to America. As a matter of fact, they played twice now at the Crystal Ballroom here in Portland. The band's name is called the Saw Doctors. The Saw Doctors were, you know, the traveling people would go and sharpen your saws, and they were called Saw Doctors. And so they just took that name. It's better than some of the names coming out of Ireland now for bands, like Four Men and a Dog. Or my favorite name for an Irish band is this Irish band. They write great music. They call themselves Goats Don't Shave.
That's a little more
Do we need to be reminded of these things? So this is from the Saw Doctors. We haven't done this one for a while. It'd be nice to get back to it. And this is going on our new CD too.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's a plan.
All right. That's good.
I have wait. I have fallen. That's what you guys said when you got out of your car in the parking lot today. I have no. You said so far so good. That's what the man said as he fell past the 12th story. So far, so good. He also said, I have fallen. See how that segues into there?
Yeah, Mortis.
We're never going to get through.
I have fallen for Tom Smothers. He plays a mean banjo.
No.
That's not it, is it?
No.
Okay. Just warming up here. Ready? I have fallen for her mother. She lives in a mobile home.
Rex's mom.
Oh, sorry, Rex. You see how it's got to rhyme? Is it any words that rhyme with those two words? Like,
Until you're interested.
not again. I can't believe it isn't butter. It has such a creamy bone. My milk cow has a ruptured udder, and the vet is not at home. Be that way. I'll get it in a minute. I'm up the creek without a rudder. My boat is styrofoam. Here's a good one. Here's a good one.
You're not kidding, you're up a creek.
We can make a whole new song out of this one. I have a 1-800 number, but I have no telephone. The Queen has something made of rubber. She keeps it safe at home. It's a good family play, sorry.
Now we can just get some good family.
What's a word?
Another is included.
I want another nutter butter. I can't leave them things alone.
Yeah, you're jiving there, Ed.
I am. Alrighty, we ready?
Yeah, we're ready. Let's...
I have fallen for her brother. He has a great big...
Hey, Scott.
I have fallen for another. I have fallen for another.
This is Scott Messer. He's our lead singer, and we're taking applications for a new one. Preferably somebody without a corrupt hard drive.
I have...
And a little taller.
Stand up.
I'm too tall for my hair, I'll have you know. I notice there's a couple of you in the audience tonight. You and me have the same barber, don't we?
Hey, Scott, keep your head on. You're blinding us.
I have fallen for another. She can make her own way home. And even if she asks me now, you know I let her go alone. I used to see her up the chapel when she went to Sunday Mass. When she'd go up to receive, I'd kneel down there and watch her pass. The glory of her ass. I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, it's gone. All my loving is gone. Oh, it's gone. All my loving is gone. Do you remember her collection for concern on Christmas Eve? She was on a 48-hour fast, just water on black tea. Well, I walked straight up and I made an ostentatious contribution. Then I winked at her to tell her I'd seduce her in the future when she's feeling looser. I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, it's gone. All my loving is gone. Oh, it's gone. All my loving is gone. Oh, so now you know the truth of it. She's no longer my obsession. Well, the thoughts and dreams I've had of her would take 6 months in confession. She had met this young one Thursday night. She's into free expression. And her mission is to rid the world of its sinful repression. So we had a session. I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, I used to love her, I used to love her once. A long time ago, it's gone. can make her own way home.
You boys are far too silly up there.
If there's any of you that would like to be on Darby-O-Gill's mailing list, in the back of the room there are little cards to fill out. They look like this. And just fill one out and leave it with one of the band members, and we'll send you little cards in the mail telling where we're going to be playing and when our next CD is going to be out. We promise not to send you any squirrels.
And if you haven't bought our CD, you're waiting for a ride.
Say something good about it.
Something good?
Say the best thing you could say about it. The very best.
Buy this CD and you will live forever.
Hey, why don't we offer a money-back guarantee on it? Sure. What do you think?
As long as they come personally.
Personally, you have to come back personally.
We're gonna do 2 more.
And then we'll take a short break and be back.
So
Break?
Don't change that time.
You got your break when you got this job.
You got this gig. I learned this on mandolin, so I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna play mandolin up here.
This is a song that Darby-O-Gill has never performed together before.
Swell.
Although I'm sure you guys have all probably played it many and many times. But I have never played this in public before. This is a song that we're requested for all the time. People ask for this song. Probably because mostly what we do is folk music, and this is a folk song, but it's not a Celtic folk song. This is an American folk song.
Was it God Save the Queen?
Wrong band. You gotta play that with your teeth. So we're going to play it. People have asked for it. I'd never heard of it. It's called Puff the Magic Dragon. And I finally heard it. PBS, Peter, Paul and Mary were having a reunion or something and played Puff the Magic Dragon, and I thought, my goodness, what a nice song.
Nobody ever asked me to play that.
No, they never asked me either. Not for 30 years they've asked me. Nobody here asked you to play this. Did you?
That's because they're smart.
The 2 most requested songs I've had are Puff the Magic Dragon and Freebird.
Oh yeah, whenever you play that. Yeah, I was asking for Freebird.
So I've yet to hear Freebird, but I've heard Puff the Magic Dragon. I didn't know the words. So I made contact with a friend of mine from Newry, Ireland, Mervyn Cummins,
Not Mervyn Cummins.
who wrote the words down for me and sent them to me, and I learned it, and I learned the chords, and I learned it.
Listen,
Well, throw the band under the bus.
Wait, Mervyn Cummins is a cretin. You learned the words from him?
Well, he's from Newry.
Well, he's shorter than you are. That guy's, you know.
Yeah, he calls you big.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Mervyn Cummins is good inspiration for putting chlorine into the gene pool.
But he's good for a lyric. We're going to do it in the Canadian key.
And we'll do, if you can harmonize, we'll do an interlude and then a verse, chorus, and then a verse and a chorus and a verse.
Cretan. He taught you those words.
Yeah, Mervyn Cummins is your friend.
Who am I kidding? Okay, let's do some jumping.
There's a story about a fella who went out one day in Ireland trying to get himself a jar of the dark, a pint of Libby water, Guinness, beer of any kind. The day was really hot, but the bar was all sold out of beer.
Last week.
So he decided instead to have the cider. But this cider had been brewed by the Dadan and the Knocknashiba.
Gesundheit.
It was 800 proof. It'd get you lashing just looking at it. And they called it from that day to this, Johnny Jump Up. Oh, I tell you a story. It happened to me one day as I went down to Yaw by the sea. The sun it was hot, and the day it was warm. Oh, it says I a quick pint wouldn't do any harm. So I went on in and I ordered up a bottle of stout. But the barman says, I'm sorry, the beer's all sold out. Try whiskey on Paddy, 10 years in the wood. No, it says I'll have cider, I'll forget its clothes. But never, never, never again if I live to be 100, 110. Well, I close to the ground, sure I couldn't get out after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jumbo. After lowering the third, I went down to the yard where I ran into Gropey, that big civic guard. Come here to me, boy, don't you know I'm the law? I up with my fist and I shattered his jaw. He fell to the ground, his knees buckled up. But one night it hit, 'twas a Johnny Jump Up. The next thing I met down in Yaw by the sea was a cripple of crutches and says to me, I'm afraid of me life, I'm gonna get hit by a car. Won't you help me across to the railway bar? But after a quart of the cider so sweet, he threw down his crutches and danced in the street. And never, never, never again if I live to be 100 or 110. Well, I close to the ground and I couldn't get up after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. Oh, well, I went down the Lee Road, a friend for the sea. They call it the madhouse in Cork by the Lee. But when I got there, sure the truth I will tell, they had the poor Peter locked up in a cell. The guards tested him, say these words if you can. Around the rugged rock, the ragged rascal. Tell them I'm not crazy, tell them I'm not mad. It was only a drop of the cider I had. And never, never, never again if I live to be 100, 110. Well, I close to the ground and I couldn't get up after drinking a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. And died in the Union by the name of McNabb, and they washed him and they laid him outside on a slab. After O'Connor, his measurements to take, his wife brought him home for a bloody fine wig. About 12 o'clock and the beer is just high, the corpse sits up, says he with the sky. I can't get to heaven, they won't let me up till I bring them a quart of the Johnny Jump Up. Never, 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 never again if I live to be do a Scottish song with an Irish twist in it.
That'll work.
You see that commercial, twist to open?
Yeah,
That's very clever. This guy's waiting for his beer.
The way they drink Miller, they're advertising to the right target audience.
This one's on our first CD. To the day you do, I see you on every bed. You shall wear when we're when the kirtle and the heeling blade sleep upon the feather beds, a good deals a canty. You will get the same for all I see, and the kids in every bosom. Little bolts and all I see, well, they will be candy. And your wee talker is but small, but hungry will wear for all. I see my sword and I keep off, he will marry man. When you marry me, I'll see you think of your method. To the day you deal, I'll see you will marry man. And you'll have only burdens and awesome once he's fair and one he's draw. Like your mother in the night, your father is in sun. When you marry me, I'll see you think of your method. To the day you deal, I'll see you will marry man. When will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Oh, when will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Well, you got your eye on Jimmy, big Jimmy B. Well, you got your eye on Jimmy and a fine man he. Well, you got your eye on Jimmy, but you better let him be. 'Cause when you go, Molly, oh, you'll be going with me. When will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Oh, when will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? When you got your eye on Jerry, little Jerry Lee. Well, you got your eye on Jerry and the rich family. Well, you got your eye on Jerry, but you better let him be. 'Cause when you go, Molly, oh, you'll be going with me. When will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Oh, when will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Your brother thinks I'm crazy. Your mother thinks I'm mad. Your sister says that I'm the worst man she's ever had. And your brother says you're better to go try the nunnery. But when you go, Molly, oh, you'll be going with me. When will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Oh, when will we be married, Molly? When will we be wed? When will we be bedded in the same bed? Yeah. Get marches I like so.
Probably. Would you want to?
Alrighty. Let's do, we'll go way out on a limb here. We'll go to Dublin for this one. Dublin! Right! Here's a song that was written by a friend of ours, Peter Yates. from Dublin. He plays around Portland, Vancouver when he's not off on tour. Right now he's in South Korea, making music in South Korea. Go figure. Yeah, yeah. He's been singing in Moscow, in Red Square. There's a place out there called Murphy's or something like that. One time I was at a place and I said, you know that the Irish, they'll fight over anything.
You take it back.
Here's a song that Peter Yates wrote about a couple who lived in Kerry, Ireland. And she wanted nothing more in all her life than to go over to Dublin and try her hand at making music for a living. And in order to fulfill her fantasy, he sold everything he owned and brought her to Dublin, where she became an overnight sensation. Wow. Record contracts, and she was on the telly and the radio. So the first thing she did with her newfound fame and fortune was she left him. Driving his taxi cab around a place in Dublin called Parnell Square.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, very American. Actually, it sounds kind of like a country song, doesn't it?
It is a country song. The country is Ireland.
Different country, I see. Did Peter tell you the other country titles that he tried out?
No.
First one was, How Can I Miss You If You Won't Go Away? If I had to do it all over again, I'd do it all over you. I love you, honey, but you're a hard dog to keep under the porch.
Oh, God, James.
The last one he tried was, I'm so miserable without you. It's almost like having you here. And he settled on Parnell Square.
Oh, Mary, back in County Kerry, singing songs in Dublin's all you talked about. So I sold everything I owned to bring you here. Now you'll be famous, there's no doubt. Last night you knocked him out in Galway, now Kilkenny's going wild. Though you do show on the telly isn't bad. And may I'm living yet I'm dying, staring out at Parnell Square from the cab. Traffic lights blink red and orange, ventilators, church bells ring out, it's late, alright. They're coming out of the iron, and the National Ballroom's closing for the night. Two young Dublin punks with their safety pins for bottles at the cap. But these jackings here will make you awful mad. And may I'm living yet I'm dying, staring out at Parnell Square from the cab. He was staring out at Dublin quite amazed. In his hand he had a gather roll. He said that he was just up for the day. So I showed the up your picture, and he makes a curt remark. So I ignored him. Jeez, was he mad? And may I'm living yet I'm dying, staring out at Parnell Square from the cab. Young fellas told me how they hate the killings and the violence in the north. Jeez, I hate that violence. Then the big one pulled a gun to help me up, took everything except me shorts. They said it wasn't for themselves as they headed for the pond. It was for a cause, and it wasn't a lad, so no. And may living yet and dying, staring out at Parnell Square from the cab. Accordions, oh, how they play. Pumping out the sound from every pub and club around Dublin Bay. And may, although I know I've lost you to the swinging show of this world, I still think of all those happy times we've had. And may I'm living yet I'm dying, staring out at Parnell Square from the cab. And may I'm living yet I'm dying, staring out at Parnell Square
Not a DeVito. Was what you were playing.
Oh, cheese and Jack Cheese.
Enough of this funny stuff.
Wake him up! Wake him up! There's some Irish blues here. Irish blues? Miller drinks. I know what I'm gonna do. We haven't done this song either. It's a waltz in G. It's got an A minor just once in there. So. It's a Goody Mulligan. I haven't done this one for a long time. That's
Irish blues are off.
So there's another dubby song.
Jack Cheese song.
And my stall are laid out on the street, and my palace consists of one room. At Patrick Street corner for 45 years, I've stood there, I'm telling no lie. And while I've stood there, sure nobody would dare to say black was the white to me. You may travel from Clare to the County Kildare, from Droghmere right back to Dracum. But where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the coombe? There's just a bit of a stumble in there, there's nothing to worry about. I sell apples and oranges, nuts and split peas, bananas and sugar sticks sweets. Of a Saturday night I sell second-hand clothes, and the floor of my stall is the streets. I sell fish of a Friday laid out on a dish, fresh mackerel and lovely ray. And I sell of my pens, such lovely fresh hens, that I once swam in dear Dublin Bay. I may travel from Clare to the County Kildare, from Patrick Street down to Raccoon. Oh, but where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the coombe? That was nice. We've never performed this song before. Well, I have a son, Nick, and he plays on the flute, and he plays for the Longford Street Band. And 'twould do your heart good for to watch him march out as the band goes to Ballymount Strand. In the park of a Sunday I caught a fine dash, how the neighbours look on in surprise at me grand paisley shawl and me bonnet so tall, to delight in the sight of your eyes. You may travel from Clare to the County Kildare, from Francis Street down to Raccoon. Oh, but where would you see a fine widow like me, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the coombe? Me boys, Biddy Mulligan, the pride of the coombe.
That's been a long time.
All right, let's do something a little serious here. This is a terribly, terribly, terribly sad song, and you're all invited to weep and wail
Kill Kelly!
as you wish. I tell you what, yous guys can do most of this song, all right? We'll just sit back and direct, and especially you, Ken.
Uh-oh. You're dead now. Oh, I know.
Mike's really impressed. Just send him over the edge.
Don't pay no attention to that.
They're just talking amongst themselves.
This song goes out to Tasha, Chris, and Brenton. Well, that's for the benefit of the camera, isn't it? This song goes out to Tasha, Chris, and Brenton.
How'd you get those three in that?
Tasha, Chris, and Brenton, will you please stand up? Stand up, go ahead.
Everything all right.
There's Tasha, Chris, and Brenton. They've come from very far away. They were in the self-help section.
I found that, by the way.
He found it. You know what happened? Chris went up to the man at the information desk and said, "Will you please tell me where I can find the self-help section?" And the man behind the desk said, "No, that'd be defeating the whole purpose, wouldn't it?" Tim Finnegan lived in Walking Street.
Right in the middle of the street, he was homeless.
I remember this.
Oh, a gentleman Irish, mighty odd.
Mighty flippin' odd.
He'd a beautiful brogue, so rich and
I
sweet.
couldn't understand a word of him. He sounded just like Ethel Merman.
Ethel Merman!
More like Buddy Hackett.
On a good night.
And a rise in the world. And a rise in the world, he carried a pod.
Big hot.
That's the wrong song.
Sorry.
Explain what a hod is. What
That's-
the heck is a
A
hod?
hod is the thing, is like a stick and a V-shaped thing. You carry all your bricks in there as you climb up the ladder.
No, the hod is like a bathtub. You carry the mortar in. Like that, you know, it's like this.
Or you take a nice soak.
Right.
Now Tim had a sort of a tippling way.
Tipple me elbow.
That's
Tipple. Tipple.
Oh, sorry. Tipple through the tulips.
With the love of the liquor, poor Tim was born.
Yeah, he loved
Don't
liquor.
say it, don't say it. And to help him on with his wage day, he'd a drop of the great directly born away from the dough. And as he parked around the story of Oh. We got some extra clap on the cheap seats. One morning, Tim was rather full,
So full his eyes were brown. No, they were blue. He was a quart low.
and his head felt heavy, which made him shake. I know that feeling. He fell off the ladder and he broke his skull.
It wasn't that the fall that killed him. It was that sudden stop at the end.
Yeah, that when the air all rushed in.
And they carried him home, his corpse to wake.
What's away?
What's awake? That's when you're not sleeping, isn't it?
Oh,
They rolled him up in a nice clean sheet.
no sheet.
They laid him out upon the bed
Everybody on the bed.
with a bottle of whiskey at his feet and a barrel of porter at his head. Oh, around the floor, you Jesus, these guys are good, man. You all have rhythm. You must be Catholic.
How many of them there are?
Yeah, I thought if you had rhythm, that meant you knew when to stop.
His friends assembled at the wake.
Yeah, both of them. They wouldn't let Scott in. He didn't meet the height requirement.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite coffee mug is the one that has the big sign.
You
The
must
sign's-
be.
Yeah, the sign's taller than the space needle. It says you must be this tall to attack the city. Godzilla's looking at
Where was I? And the widow Finnegan called for lunch.
No, they can do better than that.
And the widow Finnegan called for lunch. She said, "Come on in, boys, your supper's poured out." First she brought out tea and
And
cakes,
some brownies.
No brownies.
and pipes, tobacco, and whiskey punch. Biddy O'Brien began to cry. Such a nice, clean corpse did you ever see?
Well, I'm glad he's dead.
Tim Martin, why did you die? Search your guts and Teddy McGee. Oh, what's the dough? You have your mark around the floor, you're You guys are good, man. What?
Not for you.
Free beer's playing next.
Then Maggie O'Connor took up the job.
About time she got a job.
Oh, Biddy says you're wrong, I'm sure.
I'm so sure.
So Biddy fetched her up down the gob
Big gob!
and left her sprawling on the floor.
Rolling on the floor. Now there's a position we've all seen her in many times before under more favorable circumstances.
The last gate here.
Civil War did then engage.
About time she got engaged.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Darby-O-Gill Horror Picture Show. It was woman to woman and man to man.
That sounds like a
Sweet.
party at
Scott likes
Scott's. But only if you got a pocket full of dimes.
Shillelagh was all the rage and around and action to began. Then Mickey Maloney ducked his head.
Not that kind of
This is my favorite line in the entire song. Then Mickey Maloney ducked his head.
Isn't that clever? It's wonderful.
As a bottle of whiskey flew at him. It missed, and landing on the bed,
Every bottle on the bed.
the whiskey scattered over Tim.
That's alcohol abuse where I come from.
Tim revives, be dad, he rises.
It's a miracle!
It's Viagra.
Finnegan rising from the bed.
Hey, how are you people get in my living room?
You know, we keep taking Rex everywhere we go, and, you know.
He keeps finding his way back. Saying where there was beer on like places, butter and cheese, you take a bit. You boys are having far too much fun.
There's something else I had written down, but now I can't read my writing, so.
Wipe out.
You realize how long it took to do that song?
Way too.
That says get off the stage.
Yeah,
That was the request.
This too.
By the way, if there aren't any songs you'd like to hear,
Oh, yeah?
you can request them, but
You won't sing them.
today it's like today the score in Stump the Chump is Stumper 7, Chump 0. What are we doing? Oh yeah. 3? Yeah. 1, 2. There were 3 drunken maidens, they come from the Isle of Wight. They started to drink on a Sunday, didn't stop by Saturday night. No, it's Saturday night, they'd come, me boys, still they wouldn't get out. These 3 drunken maidens, they pushed the jug about. Oh!
sunny room where I'll be your equal before that we go out. These four drunken maidens, they push the jug about. They had woodcock and pheasant, partridge and hare, all kinds of pleasantries, no scarcity was there. They had 14 casks of beer, me boys, and still they wouldn't get out. These four drunken maidens, they pushed the jug about. Whoa, whoa. Then up come the landlord, he's looking for his pay. Has a 40-pound bill, me boys, these girls are forced to pay. Now there's 10 pounds apiece, me boys, still they wouldn't get out. These four drunken maidens, they pushed the jug about. Oh, where are your feathered hats, your trinkets fair and fine? They've all been swallowed up in tankards of good wine. Well, then where are you maidenheads, you maidens frisk and gay? We left them in the alehouse, we drank them clean away. Oh,
Daily Mail.
Now we're gonna do two more. This next one is
God, you see that sigh of relief?
Can you blame him?
this next one is 30 minutes long though. Let's start with the nice ones.
Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
This song reminds me of my wife. Speaking of which, you know what? My wife and I are looking to buy another house. Last night I saw a model home, but she wouldn't let me come inside.
Last night I saw him.
We've got all the furniture we need. As a matter of fact, our furniture all goes back to Louis XIV. If we haven't paid for it by then, Louis gets it. Comes.
This is what he meant by a half an hour.
well, when I was single, I wore a plaid shawl. Now that I'm married, I'll have none at all. But still, I love him. I'll forgive him. I'll go with him wherever he goes. He came up our alley and he whistled me out, but the tail of his shirt from the trousers hung out. Still, I love him. I'll forgive him. I'll go with him wherever he goes.
Boy, my wife is nothing like that, let me tell you. As a matter of fact, yesterday she was so upset with me. She's a liberated woman of the 90s, and she got mad at me because I'd held the door open for her.
Really?
Oh.
You held the door for her and she got mad?
Yeah.
Why?
Might have had something to do with the fact that it was a revolving door.
He took me to the alehouse and he bought me a stout. But before I could drink it, he ordered me out. Still, I love him. I'll forgive him. I'll go with him wherever he goes.
My wife and I got into a horrible fight just last night. Terrible fight. After being married 20 years, you fight over nothing at all. Last night it was the window. I wanted to keep the window closed. She wanted me to open the window. I wanted to keep the window closed. She wanted me to open the window. What a row. And then I decided it's not worth a big row. So I went ahead and opened the window. And then we got into another fight. She wanted to come inside. I'll have you know, though, when that fight was over with, she came crawling to me on her hands and knees.
Well, good for you.
And she said, "You can get out from under the bed now."
He took me ring. Then he and the jeweler went off on a fling. Still, I love him, I'll work with him, I'll go with him wherever he goes. You know what? Last Christmas I tried to get my wife something nice for my wife. Nobody made me an offer. There's cakes in the oven, there's cheese on the shelf. If you want any more, you can sing it yourself. Oh, but still, I love him, I'll forgive him, I'll go with him wherever he goes.
Money's always beside, and Tony brothers Seamus, I'll go off now and be famous. Before that I come back again and roam the whole world wide. It's a good grinder, and I'm second there to working. No more a day for praise, no longer I'll be poor. Insurance name is Barney, I'll be off in California. Instead of digging praise, I'll be digging lots of gold. Well, now goodbye to all you girls back home. I'm sailing far across the phone to try to find me fortune. Far America,
Well, we've time for one more. We'll do a really short one. We'll do a real. No, we'll do the bop.
Do the bop.
Yeah, Girl Scout song. In America, this is a Girl Scout song. In Ireland, it's a drinking song, but what song is it? Problem is on inside your head. 50 ways to love your liver. That's for the AA meetings. We'll have to do that one. Instead of in the Gata de Vida. All right, here we go. So thanks for coming tonight. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, we're Darby-O-Gill. Have a safe trip home. If you didn't much care for what you've heard tonight, we're the Clancy Brothers, and who am I to tell you how to drive? I never get tired of that line. There was a bog, a great bog. There's a rare bog and a rattling bog. And it was down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog, down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog, down in the valley, oh. Now in the bog there was a hole, a rare hole in the rattling hole in the bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. Now in that hole there was a tree, a rare tree and a rattling tree, the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that tree there was a limb, a rare limb, and a rattling limb, the limb of the tree in the hole in the bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh, the rattling bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that limb there was a squirrel, a rare
No, there's no squirrels. Remember no squirrels? Yeah, you did. We don't have any squirrels in any of our songs. We told you
99
that.
44, 100% squirrel free.
Right, so we're going too slow. Squirrels are catching up to you.
I was trying to think, okay, what goes on a tree? A limb. What goes on a limb? And at first I thought, I almost said possum. But then what goes on what do you find on a possum?
A car.
Car tire.
But you couldn't get that up to the trees.
Yeah, this
And if you knew that was coming, you couldn't call it a possum. You'd have to call it roadkill. And then what goes on roadkill? Parmesan cheese. And the tree would be gone altogether. The whole song. Let's not go there.
No, then there was a branch, a rare branch, a lemon, a branch, a lemon, a tree, a hole, and bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that branch there was a twig, a rare twig, and a twig in the branch, a lemon, tree, a hole, and bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that twig there was a nest, a rare nest, and a rattling nest of a twig, and a twig, and a branch, a lemon, tree, a hole, and bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh. Now on the nest there was an egg, a rare egg, and a rattling egg in the nest of a twig, and a twig, and a branch, a lemon, tree, a hole, and bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh, bog down in the valley, oh. Now on that egg there was a squirrel, a rare.
You did it again.
I sure did.
You did. You said the S word.
You're nuts.
Besides,
got a bit
what's
distracted.
squirrel's not going to be sitting on an egg. They don't lay eggs.
Could have been the Easter squirrel.
No. Try something that lays eggs, hangs out in trees. Not you. Something else.
We should go a little faster, you know?
Yeah, we speed it up too. But so try something else. Something that lays eggs, hangs out in trees wet.
Somebody just explained it to me.
They did? Oh, yeah.
You're number one with us, too.
Thanks, man.
That's the international sign of goodwill. Go ahead. Try a bird.
No, on that egg there was a bird, a rare bird, a rabbit, bird, a bird, the egg, and the egg, and the nest, and the twig, and twig, and a branch, and branch, and a limb, and a limb, and a tree, and a tree, and a hole, and a hole, and a bog, and a bog, down in the valley, oh, oh, down in the valley, oh, oh, down in the valley, oh. Now on that bird there was a feather, a rare feather, a rabbit, feather, a bird, a bird, a bird, the egg, and the nest, and the twig, and twig, and a branch, and a branch, and a limb, and a limb, and a tree, and a tree, and a hole, and a hole, and a bog, and a bog, down in the valley, oh, oh, down in the valley, oh, oh, down in the valley, oh. There's a great hair and a rattling hair.
It was a squirrel's hair!
It was not a squirrel's hair. And it was not one of mine either. Let me have
Put
it.
your hat back on, you're blinding us!
Was it a public hair? Oh, no, that's...
You read that wrong.
Forget it.
He can re-add. He can re-add because he's hooked on Pahonix.
You got the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
I tell you what, though, I need to mention to you, because I'm really excited about it. I have a hair replacement program. Working really well. I'm replacing my hair with scalp.
You got enough for maybe another face there.
Be two-faced.
Yeah, well, then you wouldn't have to wear that one now, would you?
There was a hair in mind, the mind, the feather, feather, the bird, the egg, and the egg, and the nest, and the twig, and a twig, and a branch, and a branch, and a limb, and a limb, and a tree, and a tree, and a hole, and a hole, and a bog, and a bog, down in the valley, oh, oh, 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 Joe Lott, yeah. Thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
Too bad you didn't play Wipeout.
Wipeout! Watch this. He's gonna do Wipeout on an elliptical. Do it! Do it! You'll be cool!
Okay. Yep. Now I gotta really get back if I was getting guitars.
Your point being?
Now you go faster than we did last time. I won't be
Come on, Scott!
the Wayback Machine.
See, I told you you'd be cool.
Are you back again? We're sitting here in the studio at Green Hill, here in Gresham, Oregon, putting together our newest CD, Under the Bus. Under the Bus, the title of the song comes from a term that we use in Darby-O-Gill, and it pretty much means being placed in a position where it is incumbent upon you to perform at your best, and circumstances are not necessarily the best circumstances to perform in. Happens a lot on the stage when I force the band to sing a song that they've never done before, or they're not very confident with, and we just go for it, and the musicians have to pick up all the slack that I leave them because I'm not much of a musician. We're working on a few songs here, a couple of them that I wrote. One of them's called Situation. I'm really happy with this song. I wrote it because I was looking for a way to express. It's sort of an autobiographical song. It's about an Irishman that comes over to America looking for work, and the only work that he can get, well, it doesn't matter what work he can get. He's looking for a job. The song never says whether he finds work, but he does. Another one is I'm Getting Out While the Getting's Good, which is just about leaving a situation that's not a very good one, be it school or the army or a relationship. So it's sort of the opposite of situation. In the first song you're looking for a situation to get into, and the second song you're looking for a way to get out of the situation that you're in. Another song we're doing is called Leather, Brass and Bone. It was written by a good friend of mine, Joe Mayer. It's sort of an esoteric song. To me, it's about, specifically it's about a man who's a knight in medieval Europe, and he realizes that there's no hope for him left, and he's going to die in battle, and does so. There's a line in the song that goes, in the last verse it goes, I am the earth that embraces him, toiling till there's not a trace of him, leather, brass, and bone. All things are transient. So I hope you enjoy the CD if you ever get a chance to hear it. I hope you enjoy the songs if you ever get a chance to hear them. I got to go back to work.
I was out there looking for a job to do, having been too long upon the dole. You came to me and I trusted you. By then I think I would have sold my soul. The things you said, the words you swore, they were not easy to ignore. Now I'm not the man I was before. I'm getting out while the getting's good. Getting out while the getting's. I was eager and naive, a ready little patsy out of school. You were waiting to deceive. Wasn't I the happy, willing fool? You think that I would understand your smoke and your mirrors and your sleight of hand? Oh, if I knew then what you had planned. I'm getting out while the getting's. I'm getting out while the getting's. Da 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 da. If you want to drag yourself to hell, oh, the getting's good, so off you go and fare thee well. Oh, the getting's good, you dark devices terrifies, till your young men come and I don't know why. Now you're on your way, well, so am I. I'm getting out while the getting's.
road. Now I'm getting out while the getting's good.